Attorney Clark here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to fill out this form. A form I-131, free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for it. Go to the USCIS website and retrieve this form. First, let's begin. At the top of this form where it said for official use only, you will not sign that part. That's for USCIS purposes only. And at the middle section of this form, you will see where it says to complete by attorney or credible representative. So this is an attorney. So let's get started with this form. You see where it says start here. You go ahead and you start here. And part 1, relationships are petition relatives to beneficiary. This is all about the petitioner. The petitioner is the green card or the U.S. citizen doing the form for their alien or their foreign relative. Okay, so line 1, it said, if I'm filing for, who are you filing for? And this is for the petitioner. So in this case, the petitioner is filing for the spouse. So if it relates to you, you go ahead and you tick spouse. If it's a parent, a brother, a sister, a child, then you go ahead and do so. But right for this moment, the purpose of this video, I am taking the spouse. And we're going to number 2. If you are filing this petition for a child or a parent, this doesn't apply to my client. So we are going to go down to box number 3. If your beneficiary is your brother or sister related by adoption, this doesn't apply to my client, but if it applies to you, go ahead and take it and select which one best works with you. Did you gain lawful permanent residence and status to adoption? It's no. My client didn't gain that through adoption. So now we are moving over to information about you, the petitioner. So as I said earlier, the petitioner is the U.S. citizen or the green card holder, the permanent resident who is filing for their alien relative. And over here at part 2, it doesn't apply to my client because it doesn't have an alien registration number and it doesn't have a USCIS account number. So we'll just go ahead and enter the social security number. If it applies to you, then go ahead and enter it. Your alien registration number can be found on your green card, and your USCIS online account number is the number that you find online when you're filing your documents online. They give you a number when you're filing your documents online. So now we're going to your full name. The full name that's supposed to, okay, I enter the social security number of the petitioner. Now we're going to do the full name. The full name is the name of the U.S. citizen. In this case, it's the U.S. citizen because my client is a U.S. citizen. And we are going to enter the name, the first name as is, and then we are going to enter the given name, and then we're going to enter the middle name, if any, okay? And then other information, the family name, we are going to go down here for other information. And other information, he didn't use any other name. This is in this section from 5A to 5C. It is if he used any other name, you enter it here if it applies to you. In this case, my client didn't use any other name, so we're going to go ahead to other information, city, town, and village of birth. So my client was born in New York, and the country of birth is USA, United States of America. And then you're going to enter his birthday or your birthday if it applies to you. Well, this section is necessary. You have to enter other information of where you were born. So we're entering the date of birth. For other information for the petitioner, we are entering the petitioner's information. So now, my petitioner is a male And we are going to continue to address history. Okay, so with the address history, USCIS want 5 years of history of your addresses. So if you have lived somewhere for 5 years, that is enough for you to enter just the 5 year history address information. That will be fine. And if not, you have to enter more than one address. So in this case, now my client's street address is Newtown. So 12A, we're going to enter the street address, and then we're going to go ahead. If there's an apartment or a suite or a floor, we're going to enter that if it applies to you. And then this is for the address history, and we're still on the topic of the petitioner. And then it has an apartment, so we're going to go ahead and do the apartment 1112, and the city is New York. So we're entering New York at 12C, or let's do this. The city is Bronx. It's just for the purpose of this video. So the city is Bronx and the state is New York. So as I said earlier, this is just for the purpose of this video. I am just showing you guys the step of how to fill your I-130, your petition for alien relative form out. And we enter the zip code, and if you all notice at the top, it says incorrect zip code because US zip code have 5 digits. We don't have province because that's for foreign addresses only, and we don't have postal zip code, but we do have a country, which is the United States. So go ahead and enter that. And the date going forward, the date is from the day my client lived here, and in the format month, day, and year until present. Because he presently reside at this address listed above. So we add the date he lived there. He lived there since birth, and he's still living there. So in this case, we are going to continue for the purpose of this video. I'm just showing you guys how to fill the form out, okay? So the mailing address in care of whom. So you put in care of whom. This would be my client name over here, in care of. So you're gonna put in care of for that address if it's the same thing on the other side over here. So we're gonna go ahead and put in care of, and it's my client name. His name is Sean Morrison. And we are going to add a 10B. It's supposed to be in care of, and then same mailing address history, and the mailing address is Newtown, and it's an apartment. So we go ahead and select apartment, and the city, town, and state, and in this case the city is New York, and the state is also New York, and the zip code, I do not know New York zip code right on top of my head this moment, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to use a zip code that come to our head. If you made it this far into the video, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe so I can help others to fill other forms out. And as I said, this form is free on USCIS website, so please do not go ahead and pay for it because USCIS have their form available on their websites. You can fill it out online, you can mail it in, or you can go ahead and create a protocol of your own, or you can just hire an attorney. So we are at 101 where we're still filling in our petitioner's information. And is your current address the same as your physical address? Yes, in this case, yes. So we are going to go over here, physical address 2, and because we have all the information over there already, we are not going to enter any physical address because we just tick yes on this other side. Say the physical address is the same as the mailing address. Okay, we're going to the marital information. Over here, my client have married just once. This is his first marriage, so we are going to put 1 in the box. If it applies to you and it's married once, if it applies to you, you put 1. If you're married twice, then you put twice, and then you enter the information about your information about the petition continues on this section 18. The current date of the marriage, when he get married, and where he get married. So the date of the marriage and where, what city, town, or state, which is listed below. But if you have married more than once, you would have to enter the marriage date and time and when the marriage ended in the available sections as it applies to you. Okay, so you are now moving along to your current marriage. So knowing that my client only have one marriage, we are going to do this. The place of your current marriage. So we're going to enter the city or town of where my client got married. So we are still on the petition. So if you can read part 2, information about your petitioner continues. So we're still on the petitioner, and the petitioner was born in the city of, let's enter this, Tampa. He was born in Tampa, and the state is Florida. So we enter that. We do not have province because province is only for foreign addresses. The country is USA, United States of America. That's where my client was born. And now we are going to enter the country of birth. The country of birth is United States. This is where my client was born. And then it's going to ask, no, I'm sorry, my client was born in Jamaica. So the country of where my client was born is Jamaica, and he now resides in the United States. The city is Kingston. That's where my client was born. And the country of resident is the United States. Parent information. So we're still on the petitioner's information. We are going to enter his parents' information. So you fill this form out accordingly as it applies to you. If your parent or one of your parents is deceased, you don't need to, you just put deceased. You don't need to fill the form out thoroughly. If it doesn't apply to you, then you enter not applicable. And keep on going now. We are still on the petitioner. The first post, if any. So we're on spouse. We are on spouse number 1, and his spouse is Shepherd. Her last name is Shepherd, and her given name is Grace. Her given name is Grace, and her middle name is Hope. If you doesn't have a middle name, if your wife or your spouse doesn't have a middle name, if it doesn't apply to you, you can put not applicable, or you can leave it blank. Okay, so we are moving along to parent information. So parent information 2, where's 1? Wait one moment, let me see. We're gonna go back over to this side, and continue where it says, all right, spouse. Okay, number 20. And then I'm gonna go at this side of parents information 1. Okay, so you're gonna enter your mother's name or your father's name, whichever one come first, or whichever one you choose to enter first, because you only have 2 parents. So the first name of my client's parents is Davis. First name. Last name. First name is Simone, his mother. And then she doesn't have a middle name, so we leave that blank or we put not applicable. The date of birth. Her date of birth, and she's a female. Please remember to fill the information in accordingly. Okay, and you're moving along. We are going to go to parent number 2. So parent number 2 over here on this side, about, all right, 2025. We are going to see his mother was born in Kingston and she reside in the USA. And parent number 2 is the father, and we are at 30A. Family name, last name is Morrison. 30B, given name is Paul, that's the first name, and he have a middle name. His name is Orort. So, and it's just for the purpose of this video, you guys, I'm just using names. Okay, and then he is a male, so you go ahead and take a male, and the country of birth, you will go ahead and do that accordingly if it applies. And if you don't know, you might need to find the information, because you have to enter something as long as you start. So he's a male, and the country of birth is USA. So my client's father was born in the United States. The city is New York, and the country of a resident is USA, United States of America. So now we are moving along. We're still on the petitioner. This is the U.S. citizen or green card holder that is applying for their alien relative. All right. Additional information about your petitioner. 36. I am a U.S. citizen. My client is a U.S. citizen, and I take that. If you are a U.S. citizen, complete items 37. He was born in the United States. Nationalization or 2 parents if it applied to you, but my client was born in the United States. Have you obtained a certificate of nationalization? No. My client was not nationalized, so we hit no. And if it applies to you, there will be a number, and so that section, you'll fill that section out. We're moving on to part 2. Information about the petitioner continues. So information about the petitioner continues at 40A. So we are 40A, and we're moving along, and there is no information there. It doesn't apply to my client, but if it does apply to you, you go ahead and do so. So we're going to continue to employer's history. So this is the company that the petitioner works for. So he worked for New York Times. So this is the name of the company, and the USCIS requests a 5-year work layout. So if it is that my client work at one place for 5 years, we don't have to enter multiple address. If you have 2 jobs, then we have to enter the 2 jobs. Okay, so the street number is 1234 Queen Street, and it has a floor, so we're gonna put 3rd floor. And then we're moving along. The city is New York, and the state